After seeing how China makes specialty tires, I finally understand why Elon Musk once said China could become a global industrial leader. One EV tire production technique already beats many major tire makers. Maybe Musk was not exaggerating. Heat cycle tires build heat through friction, softening the tread and creating serious grip. At racing temperatures, they cost more. The recipe is far more complex. Here's one example. This compound comes from the first mix. It is prepared for the next blending stage. Most of this rubber is natural rubber, blended with synthetic rubber, plus low-melting semi-vulcanized rubber at a 2-to-1 ratio as the rubber leaves the extruder. It becomes a continuous strip, just 3 millimeters thick. Touch it now, and you would feel intense heat. That is why rollers lift it up, helping prevent the hot rubber from sticking together.
Right beside the drying rack.
You can see more than 40 fans. They cool the rubber directly, but this rubber still needs more strength. So at the second mixing port, special black additives are added. This finishes the heat cycle compound. Now comes the main inner liner. Notice these 8 red rollers. Their job is to add strength and press the rubber tight and dense. Outside the inner liner, there is a waterproof fabric-like layer. This lets the material sit in storage. Even in humid heat, the rubber won't stick together. Step 2 is making the bead core. This is where the tire meets the rim. It helps seal the tire and support its shape. In simple terms, rubber bonds to a triangular profile, steel wire inside, covered with a thick rubber layer. Once it is mounted on both sides, the tire locks firmly onto the rim. In this close-up, it is not triangular yet. It is just a steel loop. To form the triangle, it must join the outer ring. The width and diameter are calculated down to the micron. Freshly cured, the bead is not sticky. It feels fairly hard. But during storage, pieces can still cling together. That is why a separator layer is needed. Step 3 is building the tire body ply. It still uses rubber from the first mix, but this time it is layered with high hardness rubber. As it leaves the extruder again, 4 colored guidelines appear. These lines do not affect function. They help the factory sort models and batches. That makes production easier to manage. Water is sprayed on top. Then the blade cuts it evenly, creating the tire ply layer. This part also demands precision. For example, 3 layers. Use rubber spacers to help air move through. Step 4 is applying the steel belt. On the rack, rows of steel wire coils are packed
tightly
as the conveyor pulls the wire forward. The rack's turntable spins with it. At the center, rubber bonds with the steel wire. Then it is cut at an angle and moves on to step 5, assembly. In front of us is a fully automated machine made by Mesnac Group. From material bonding to the green tire casing, it does almost everything. First, the inner liner and sidewall parts are loaded onto the equipment. 3 alignment marks are clearly visible: reared, white, and centered. The worker lines up these marks to keep everything in the right position. Then, a roller tool presses along the seams. This helps prevent splitting or delamination. Meanwhile, another worker prepares the bead. It is placed precisely on both ends. Then it moves into the center of the
Machine.
The sensor sees it. The equipment on the right activates. This stage wraps, the layer connected to the apex. The texture is thinner and the feel is finer. At the same time, the steel belt layers are wound in. Then the parts added by hand earlier are fitted around the outside. With light pressure, they are pressed firmly into place. At this point, the tire has taken its basic shape. But one crucial step remains before it can reach the road. First, the machine removes it from the building drum so it can move to vulcanization. Vulcanization means using heat and pressure to cross-link the rubber molecules. In plain English, it transforms the tire, making soft rubber strong. It stamps the tread pattern into the tire. All of this happens inside this large curing chamber. Passenger car tires cure fairly quickly. But for truck or heavy-duty tires, curing can take half a day or more. Moments later, the tire comes out of the chamber. Tiny rubber hairs cover the surface. These must be trimmed before shipping. Here, the worker uses a trimming blade as the tire spins on the roller. The extra rubber is cleaned away. Leaving it on would not hurt performance. So how does the workshop know the tire meets the standard? You can see a sensor scanning the tire. If the serial number and database parameters
Match exactly.
the tire passes inspection. In reality, heat cycle tires do not melt right away. Only when the tread reaches 90 to 100 degrees Celsius does the rubber begin to shift into a sticky gum-like state. The grip of this tire comes mainly from heat activation, not just from the tread pattern biting the road. That is why on a track or a road, they deliver stronger handling